Hey friends, it's Jay Lobos. I'm coming back to you on another episode, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about collections. If you're getting those harassing phone calls, those letters, we don't know what to do with them, stay tuned on this video because I'm going to show you and give you some tips on how to get rid of those and how to address them right now. So, one thing that I keep getting a lot, especially from clients, people that call me, family members, people are always talking about collections. What is a collection? How do we get into collections? How could I go ahead and address a collection? Should I pay a collection? So I think it's such a broad topic. So I wanted to go ahead and create maybe a little mini series, 2-3 different episodes on collections. So obviously, if this is the first time you're checking me out, again, my name is Justo Villalobos. I'm the president and CEO of Buildworth Strategies. It's a credit repair company here in Miami. And with that said, I'm also known as Mr. J Lobos. I got the YouTube channel, obviously, the Instagram. And on this channel, I'm gonna talk to you guys a little bit about credit, a little bit about finances, personal experience, things that are happening within the business, stuff like that. So consider subscribing, consider commenting if you guys have any comments. I welcome that, I love that, just because I'm able to go ahead and reply back to you guys and continue this conversation. So today I wanted to go ahead and talk about collections. What is a collection, right? So let's go to 101 collections. So what happens is the following. The way you get to collections is having an original account, having an original creditor, such as, let's say as an example, you have a Macy's account, you have a Bank of America, Wells Fargo. It doesn't really matter. It could be a loan, it could be a car loan, right? And it could be a mortgage loan. And what happens is there's a process before an account or before a creditor contacts you, before you get that nasty gram or that nasty letter, right? Something saying that they're gonna go ahead and sue you, or an attorney's letterhead, and you're like, what the heck to do, What happens is that there's a process, and the first thing is that you have to go on a default status, which is called a charge-off. Before you get to the charge-off, you have to go through a process of 180 days late, meaning that you're gonna go through a 30-day late, a 60, a 90, or 120, or 150, then you get to the 180. When you get to the 180, and that creditor has not collected any funds from you, then what happens is that creditor is going to do what's called a charge-off. A charge-off is basically a way of saying, well, every business, every company, just like ours, goes through a process of trying to collect. If I can't collect at the end of the year, guess what? That's money that they provided to you, but they didn't get back. So because of that, they don't want to pay taxes on this money. So what do? They go ahead and charge off the account, right? So the state allows that creditor or the person that gave you the money for them to charge off. So in a sense, it goes through a profits and loss. The profits and loss, they're gonna declare that account as a loss, meaning that the state's not gonna charge them any kind of taxes on the funds that they didn't collect from you. So as an example, if that company, they were reporting 100,000 in income minus the 1,000 that they lent you, now they're only reporting 99,000. So they're only gonna pay taxes, or they're only liable for that certain amount. So once that account hits charge off, that's the term where the collection kind of comes in. Why? Because now what happens? What's gonna go ahead and happen is that there's gonna be companies out there, third-party sources, right? And what are they gonna do? They're gonna go back into these original creditors, and it's a business, right? And they're gonna try to solicit them, and they're gonna try to buy these accounts for pennies on the dollars. So as an example, you, Mr. Client, had a credit card, you used it, right? It was a limit of 1,000, whatever. For whatever XYZ reason, either you lost your job, you went through a really bad, hardship, maybe you went through a divorce, who knows? Life hit you, slapped you up, and guess what happens? You couldn't make any kind of payments to that account. Now, the original creditor sells the account to ABC Collection, Enhanced Recovery, Portfolio Recovery. There's so many of them out there, LV&V, right? And they come and they say, hey, you know what? By the way, Mr. Client didn't pay you that $1,000. I'm gonna go ahead and take that off your hand for $100. So they're literally paying 10 cents on the dollar. So what happens is that LV&V or that collection agency grabs that account, pays pennies on the dollars. So in a sense, if you really want to think about it, the original creditor, not only that they got the tax write-off, of the $1,000, but now they're getting also paid for it. And what's going to happen is the collection agency goes, okay, well, they get what's called a bill of sale, which is like a sales receipt, right? Because again, under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, they're going to be limited on the type of information that original creditor could go ahead and share or provide to that collection company, right? Which is a good thing. This is why there's a high probability of success, especially when disputing collections, because they're limited on the information that they actually have. Now, once the collection agency gets that account, then obviously if they have some sort of alliance with an attorney's office, they might go ahead and send you over a letter that says that you have to go ahead and pay them. And usually what tends to happen with collection agencies, again, it's a business, it's an organization, right? They'll be like, well, you know what? The balance was $1,000. We paid an additional $100 for the transfer plus the attorney's fees, and all of a sudden it stacks up to $1,500, and you're like, what the heck? I know I didn't know that much money. So guess what we do? Sometimes we're kind of hesitant. We're really fast to go ahead and pay off these collections. And if you guys know about our channel, also the Keeping It Real channel, we put a lot of content out there. The first thing to do, guys, don't be so quick to pay these collection agencies. The first thing you should be doing is disputing and challenging the accuracy of that information. You guys can save so much money, so much resources by doing that. And that's obviously in a different video, right? I'll talk to you guys about that. But what happens is, once the collection sends you over that notification, if obviously it's happened to me in the past, obviously when I was 18, I went through a situation and I ended up paying a collection not knowing what I know now. So again, the first thing to do is obviously dispute. But what tends to happen too, if you're that person who's considering what's called a payment for deletion, you're going through a process of, who knows, maybe you're buying a property, right? Or maybe you're trying to get to some sort of goal really fast. Maybe you're a business owner and you need some sort of line of credit, and the underwriter says, hey, you have to pay that collection off. This is one thing I always share this with people. Obviously negotiate the debt, because what tends to happen too, collection agencies tend to tell you, listen, the balance is $1,500. You know you only owe the $1,000, but we'll go ahead and settle it for the $1,000. Or we'll go ahead and settle this for $750. You're like, wow, that's actually a steal. That's 50% off. But in reality, that shouldn't be the case. Obviously, explore other alternatives. If you're not really good in the negotiation game, again, I'm going to continue with a follow-up video on this, on how you guys could go ahead and maximize and the opportunity to save hundreds of thousands of dollars if you guys obviously have collections with regards to that. So I've actually been involved in many different disputes, many negotiations, and I've been able to save up to 97% of debt. You guys could go ahead and do this. But going back to the same thing, if you guys are considering paying a collection, you have to focus on what's called a payment for deletion, meaning that if you go ahead and pay off this account, you want something in return from the creditor or the collection agency, which is basically a letter saying that they're going to be deleted from your credit once they've collected either the full balance or for less than the full amount, right? So just to go ahead and wrap this up too, again, I'm going to do a follow-up video. I wanted to talk to you guys about a few quick tips on collections. So a few things that you guys should be doing, or at least be aware of. Obviously, when a collector calls you or a collection agency reaches out to you by phone, don't be so quick to provide any information. Don't give them any kind of personal information. Let them know, obviously, you don't have to be rude, or, you know, sometimes that's how they are, but we don't have to go to that level. But just let them know, listen, I'm gonna go ahead and hang up. If you guys have anything you guys wanna go ahead and share with me, send it over in writing. You want everything in writing. You want documented information. Besides that, you also, you could literally be put on what's called on the do not call list. You could do this one of two ways. You could either go into the FTC website, and there's actually a way that you could go ahead and register your phone number for almost up to a year, if I'm not mistaken. And also you could let the collector know, or the collection agency, to stop calling you. Again, everything is in writing. Besides that, one thing that's very, very important, I always tell this to people, do not ignore the collection. And the reason for that is because there's also other consequences when it comes to ignoring collection agencies, because again, it is a business, it is an organization. They could take that to the next level. And again, that's also another video that I'm gonna go ahead and create. But just go ahead and address a situation. If it's something that you are aware of, that is an account that you do recognize, go ahead and address it. If you guys have any questions, any concerns on how to resolve any of those, let us know. Again, put those comments. You know, if you guys have any questions regarding your credit, we offer a free credit evaluation. here at Buildworth Strategies. And I'm gonna go ahead and leave a little bit of description, a little bit of information on this video. So if you guys have any suggestions for any additional videos, please let us know, let me know, and then I'll go ahead and I'll create those for you guys. So obviously, the more information you have, the better decisions you're gonna be able to make. So remember, again, subscribe, like, share, comment. If you like this video, just let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.